Hey everyone, so now we're going to talk about viral loops. So, viral loops is a really kind of weird technical term. Basically, it's something that helps you create virality for your startup. And the word viral and virality, absolutely hate with a passion, but basically, it means your growth engine. It's what allows you to bring in users and turn one user that you paid for into three or four users just organically. Really, what it's often associated with is this term called K factor, which is a measure of virality. So you pay to acquire one user on Facebook. How many users does that one user that you paid for bring back to you through organic sharing or just inviting their friends into your product, things like that? That is the viral loop. And it's a mechanism that is very powerful with startups because that's what allows you to grow so rapidly with a very low budget. It's the reason why Uber and all these other startups grow so fast is because they have a really solid viral loop, and it can come in many, many different shapes and sizes. In our case, we're going to talk about viral loops specifically for beta products. And an example, so you actually know what I'm talking about here. This is TaskWorld. It's a project management company, very enterprise oriented. So to give you an example here with TaskWorld, they are inherently viral in the sense that in the enterprise space, if you're using a project management software, inherently that means you're managing a team, and inevitably, if you sign up for the software, you're going to invite your team. So what happens with TaskWorld is you get signed up. Within the onboarding process, they ask you, hey, invite your colleagues, invite the folks that you're going to be working with. And all of a sudden, they only have to pay for one user in order to acquire 10 or 20 or even 100, depending on the department size. So really straightforward, that's really what it is. So viral loops for beta, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to talk about three key types of viral loops. One is to get, share for access campaigns, which is going to be pretty straightforward if you're in beta. Referral contests, which is a massive one that drove the growth for Player.me. And a third one, which is incentivized sharing, which you can somewhat use when you're in beta, depending on how far along you are with your product. But this is one that when you put it into place, can stay in your product throughout the course and the lifetime of your product. It's something that will be able to drive growth on an ongoing basis for the lifetime of your product. So, sharing for access. Social lockers, you've probably seen this on content before. Download the free content upgrade by tweeting or liking or Google Plusing us, whatever the case is. You can use the exact same process for your beta if you have something to access on the back end. So you have someone come in, they join your wait list, and immediately you say, hey, if you share this, on Twitter, you share it on Facebook, you share it on Google Plus, you share it on LinkedIn, all four of those will give you access to our closed beta. Often, you'll see this with content, but that's a version that you can use it with regards to your beta and launching that. Basically, all you're doing is just hiding access to like a beta signup link just behind this social locker. And this is the kind of super simple way to do it if you just want to get something done and out there and you just want to test it and see how it works. This is unbelievably easy to set up. And you can just, sociallocker.org. If you don't want to use WordPress, you're using, a landing page builder, whatever the case, go to sociallocker.org. They have a version that works with anything like landing pages and whatever else. I believe it's $18 or something. So it's very cheap, very low cost. But if you're using something more like Kickoff Labs, you can get into something like this. So this is a screenshot of the Harry's Razor campaign. It's a really famous campaign for the beta side of things because it generated over 100,000 emails in the course of their beta. And the reason why it works so well is people are earning product for sharing, for inviting friends. A lot of things at play here, but basically the rewards that they were offering here are very tangible and very achievable. 5, 10 shares in order to get a reward. And have people sign up in order to get a reward, like that's super tangible. That's very achievable for anybody who just wants to post it on Facebook. But the really key thing was sharing was unbelievably easy. The messages that were pre-written were really, really solid. And it just made it really easy for someone to click two buttons and have it shared out, and potentially by that point, having clicked only 2 buttons, gain a reward. So with something like this, when you make it that easy, when you make it that tangible, when you make it really, really awesome like that, all you really have to do is work out how to get your seed audience of 50, 100 people, and everything else just takes off from there. So it's absolutely phenomenal way to approach things. And this particular page, a variation of it, can be found in kickofflabs.com. If you use that as your way to launch your beta, or if you just want to use it as a whole separate thing to test out this virality of this type of campaign, you can do that over there. And they have the templates to support it, so you can get something up and running in 10-15 minutes, which is phenomenal. Next up, referral contesting. So Player.me, as I mentioned, this is a massive growth engine for them. As you can see, this is the latest campaign that they ran with this exact same model. They generated 139,000 users using this model. And when you add up the cost of all these prizes, you're talking about less than $10,000 to generate 139,000 users, which is massive. And when we ran this in the early days, we generated 20, 30,000 users. And our total cost of prizes was like $1,000. It's unbelievably easy to run this type of campaign. Basically, it works really well if you have a list to start with, because obviously you need folks who will be able to share. And ideally, you do have some influencers within your list, so folks who do have a good engaged audience. If you do have those things lined up, really the steps forward are just find some type of high value product that works for your market. In this case, Player.me is a social gaming startup, so we gave away gaming systems, gaming hardware. But in the end, the really cool thing was we were giving away an Oculus Rift. The first time around when we ran it, which at the time was very rare to have, it came from one of the crowdfunding campaigns. So it was something that was really exclusive and awesome, really high perceived value. And really what you're doing here is you're making this a pure popularity contest. To be perfectly honest, we made it all about popularity. It may not seem fair or anything, but in the end, we still had a backup prize for those who weren't very popular. They could only get a couple friends on board. We did have random prizes for just, we had like $20, $30 prizes for those who were picked at random. But in reality, we were really incentivizing the popularity side of things. People got into like fights over who was sharing the most, and there was like a massive flame war between the two guys who were sharing the most. It was really awesome because all that means is we had tons of buzz around it, which only incited more growth. And the really cool thing with the way that they've evolved these types of referral contests is they're making them more group goal oriented. So as you can see over here, based on the number of total players that were referred into the platform, there's a certain level of prizes that are unlocked. So, if they hit 200,000 users, which they didn't, there would have been $4,000 worth of gaming prizes and hardware given out. But they hit 100,000, so it's $1,500 worth of gaming prizes plus all these other things below. So being able to make it a group goal to unlock these prizes one by one by one by one makes it very tangible and achievable for the entire group, because they can look at it and say, okay, there's 1,000 people that are sharing this, so in order to hit the 2,000 goal, everybody only needs to bring in 2 people. That's achievable. So we'll go and share, and we'll go hardcore with it. So you have to look at those particular mechanisms and get it up and running. But this entire campaign, the first time we ran it, was entirely manual. So you don't need any fancy software or anything. You just need a list. You need a framework for what your prizes look like, and ideal case, you need some type of platform to run it. There's a couple ones that you can use there, Wishpond or Rafflecopter, anything that allows you to capture an email and give out some type of referral link. That's all you need. It's really, really simple, really, really easy. The final one here is incentivized sharing, and as I mentioned, this is something that you can leverage within your product for the lifetime of your product. This isn't a product that's not in beta. HelloBar is a fully public product. But the reason why I want to take a look at this one is they leverage not only the whole, give something to get something, they also leverage the incentivized model. So they're trying to leverage 2 different viral loops into one, and it works really, really well. Basically what you're doing here is you're saying, hey, you have Hello Bar. If you give someone or you have someone referred in, then you both get a free month of the premium version of the product. So same type of thing as Dropbox. You invite someone, you get a certain amount of space, they get a certain amount of space as an extra bonus. So you're incentivized to go out there and give out this free offer because you're not just saying, hey, come and join the software, you're delivering them value. So you're giving them something of value, and in exchange, you're also getting something in return, which is kind of awesome. But they're also leveraging a whole bunch of different other things here, which are really cool, like making it unbelievably easy to share. Like this entire template works really, really well. And when you click send invitation, you just need to enter in email addresses. Or sorry, what you put email addresses up here, and then you click send invitation. It just sends it. So you can just take your list out of Gmail, pop it in here, and just say, hey, can I give all of you guys really awesome value, free stuff? It's a phenomenal execution on the incentivized referral. And another really great one to look at is obviously Dropbox. They pioneered this model. The whole idea of giving away 100 megs in space. Or I think it was 100 megs in space at the time. In order to get 100 megs in space was phenomenal. Is a great approach to bringing virality into the product. And the really cool thing for you is it's 100% product oriented. So you don't need to go out there and spend extra money on physical products or anything like that. It's all driven by your particular startup product. So if you have a software, this is really easy because that just means you're getting a whole bunch of people that will use the platform. If you do have a physical product, then obviously it's driven by that. But it's just really awesome because it's all driven around your product, which means you're getting your product in the hands of a lot more people, not getting third party products in the hands of other people in order to get them into your product, into your software. So it's the key thing with it is just make it unbelievably easy to share, make it simple to post it on Twitter, Facebook, send emails, and you just have an awesome engine for growth over the lifetime of your product that is all about putting your product in more people's hands.